going on, yo? What's going on? Cowboys get a dub in the shootout. Give me a second, y'all. Let me make this. We gonna talk. We gonna talk from a couple different perspectives. She ain't getting. Let me send this off real quick so we can go ahead and get going, y'all. Who the? All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. So there's good things to take away from this game, and there's bad things to take away from this game. And we're gonna dig into both. We're gonna dig into both. So let's start with this offense first. This offense, this offense is elite. Now they're gonna talk about some of the plays that Seattle Seahawks made, as far as them getting pressure, them getting sacks. That Seattle Seahawks don't. They got talent on that defense. They got talent on that defense. And who was getting work was your usual culprits anyway. On the right side of your offensive line. When it comes out to that left side of that offensive line, everything is all good and gravy. But when it comes out to the right side, that's when things get a little tricky at times. But for the most part, everybody had their hands full. You had to go against Frank Clark, Boye, Mafi, Jerron Reed, Leonard Williams. I mean, that's a deep defensive line. A whole lot of teams would love to have that type of defensive line, right? And we also talked about, throwing the ball downfield. When it came down to that Seattle Seahawks secondary, they a little grabby. And Mike McCarthy seen that and took advantage of that. They took advantage of them being grabby. And we was able to get some penalties in our favor. He was able to get some chunk yards in our favor. He took advantage of the matchup with Jamal Adams on Ferguson and cooked them. Fergie had a big day. CD had a big day. Cooks produced. Gallup was on a milk carton. I don't know why we still there paying that boy 12 to 13 mil. I don't know why we paying that boy 12 to 13 mil. What, did he even get a catch today? But Gallup, sorry as hell. He's a waste. He a waste. He a waste. Broncos about 40. that man a waste. What do you say? Seahawks put a 35 on the Cowboys. And Mike McCarthy, when it came down to calling these plays, he was on point. Now he didn't had a couple questionable calls. Like, what the hell was he doing? Like, like the first one, like, why is you not taking second and 19 over 3rd and 7? But even with some of the misplays, even with some of the points that we left on the table, we still put up a 40 piece, right? Even with some of the mistakes that we made. So that should tell you. So I don't get where they was talking about that this team is going to be a defensive led team, because that's absolutely the exact opposite of what we see. Ain't nothing about this team that's going to be defensively led. And if you're going to allow this team to defensively lead you, y'all going to be in for a rude awakening. Y'all going to be... Now, we're going to talk about Bland, though, because I got to keep it real on that Bland stuff. We're going to get on Bland in a minute, though. We're going to get on Bland. It's going to be harsh, but there's going to be a little silver lining to it. But it's going to be harsh. It's going to be harsh because we got to keep it real. We got to keep it real on that Bland. But but Dak, we talked about Dak having to go ahead and win you one or two. We talked about Dak having the capability of being able to win you these type of games. Y'all know in the past, we used to lose these type of games, y'all. And we finally pulled one like this out. Dak Prescott played an amazing game, right? Let's just be honest. I made this statement, probably the last week and the week before that. This is the best that I've ever seen Dak Prescott play the quarterback position, ever. right? This is the best that I've ever seen him play this quarterback position. He is straight balling. Can't say nothing bad about him. Without Dak Prescott, you get blown out. Without Dak Prescott doing what he did to create plays, to extend plays, to use his legs, you get blown out. And what's up with Dak out there talking that talk, though? I like it. I like it. You know, put a little edge on him. He want to flex a little bit. I like it. I like it. I like J Hop getting in the grill of Jamal Adams. I like it. I like it. You know, at least one phase of this team is playing with an edge. At least one edge. Right. Facts. Facts, Lo. Wax. Teflon. Teflon. We wax Houston. Eastside know that. We'll wax Houston. Eastside know that. He know that. But man, it just was an all and out, very very good performance by this offense. And you needed every single. I don't even think we punted. Yeah, we didn't even punt. This was a very good. Now look, the Seattle Seahawks, right? Because we're gonna talk about the defense. We're gonna talk about that, but the offense did their stuff. There ain't nothing bad to say about this offense, other than you could talk about the penalties. But usually we get some of them type of penalties on short weeks anyway, or on or situations where we done played like 3 games and like 17 days or something like that, or 14, whatever the case may be. We usually get a little sloppy, so that's kind of to be expected. Even though we don't want the sloppiness in the red zone, because there was some penalties in the red zone that we didn't like, as far as being on both sides of the coin on the offense and defense. That's something that you can't happen and that you got to play flawless on. But nonetheless, though, we did that, and then a couple of missed call, miss little things that Mike was doing as far as going forward, maybe not taking the points, But other than that, hey, maybe Mike just didn't trust your defense. Because they was talking about why we didn't run the ball. What was it? Probably the last drive we had. I said, shit, Mike probably don't trust that defense. Mike probably don't trust that defense. Shoot, I wouldn't trust that defense. You gave it what, 35 points to a mediocre offense and a mediocre offensive coordinator. Like, come on, man, you made them look like the Miami Dolphins. Like, shoot. I could just imagine what we gonna give up with the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins coming up if we out here giving up Trey 5 to the Seattle Seahawks. But let's get on. But let's get on this defense though. Let's get on this defense. Look, first thing we're gonna talk about is Bland. Look, regardless of the tough performance, by no means do I think Bland is a bum, right? But one thing I can tell you is that, look, good corners do get beat, but good corners don't get beat the way that he got beat today. I'm sorry. They don't get beat like the way that they got beat today. He's a good corner, though. And see, they was ready to crown him, And, hey, some Cowboy nations were guilty of that. Look, by all means, what DaRon Bland has been doing is special. But even though he's a good corner, he ain't the most stickiest corner, right? And that was exposed with DK Metcalf. And now we said, when we talked about it in our scouting report, a lot of what we're going to see with DK Metcalf is going to be down the field. A lot of what we're going to see in the red zone with DK Metcalf is him going in and having these slants. And they went and they stayed true to that. The Seattle Seahawks were very predictable. And so for them having a predictable offense, for them to go ahead and put up Trey 5 like that, it's very disappointing. Now, I can say that the only positive that I can really give you about this defensive performance is that we made plays when it count. And that's what good teams do. Make plays when they count, right? DeMarcus Lawrence came up huge. Like, we've been talking about him all year. Like, right, he gets overshadowed by Micah Parsons, and other than Micah Parsons making that last play, he was on the milk carton in the second half. But The players that needed to make the plays to win the game did that. CD, Dak, Osa, Tank, even Micah. The last drive, he got a couple pressures. Right, he was wreaking havoc on that right tackle. Right, and that was the matchup that needed to be exploited because we know that right tackle, whether it be Peters or the other cat, were straight bums. So why not put one of your best pass rushers on him and take advantage of the opportunity? But let's just be real, y'all. 35 points against the Seattle Seahawks is tragic. And to be honest with you, I'll be honest with you. Looking at it, I just really Dan Quinn fails to adjust. Let's be frank here. He fails to adjust when it's time for him to adjust. See, he's going thinking that I don't know why he's been doing this ever since he's been coaching. He's like, look, my guys are better than your guys, and we just gonna roll with it. And I've yet to really see Dan Quinn really adjust. I'll be honest with you. Some of the stuff that Dan Quinn do, I can do just off the couch. I'll be honest with you. Some of the things that Dan Quinn does, I can do off the couch. Yeah, I promise you I can. And what you see from Dan Quinn, Dan Quinn needs to take the majority of the blame for not adjusting. You seeing Bland getting cooked right now. Okay, adjust to that. Make Gino was out here. Come on, man. Gino was out here looking like Michael Vick. He done ran for the TD. He was caught. Come on, man. And then when they finally want to go ahead and put Gino in his place, the last few drives, Gino was looking like Gino the way that Gino was supposed to be looking if we would have went on ahead and played ball. If Dak doesn't put up 41, this defense loses you the game. We talk about playing complementary football. Yeah, sometimes that the offense has to save the defense and vice versa. Yeah, we discussed that though. But god dang, 35 points to the Seattle Seahawks though. 35 points though. I understand, okay, maybe the first couple touchdowns. I understand, that you ain't going to go ahead and hold teams to 10 points, 14. I understand that. I understand that sometimes a team going to score. But 35 with a mediocre offense and a mediocre offensive coordinator, that's unacceptable. And some of the same habits that we have been seeing in regards to when this defense does get carved up, we will see it. But I do want to give a shout out to Jay Lou. Jay Lou came up huge when he needed the most. I do want to give a shout out to Jay Lou. He definitely got to get a shout. And even Dan, and look, see, I ain't going to get on Bland too much because, Bland is who he is, right? And and he did show mental toughness to get that pick, right? We talked about, look, Gino going to give us opportunities to go ahead and undercut some of these throws, and he did just that and got him one. That takes mental toughness. See, Bland could have been on the head and be weak-minded and gave up. He could have, I'm getting cooked, and it could have messed with his confidence. But he continued to go ahead and compete on his off day, and he went on ahead and made a big play. Now, we didn't take advantage of that, but indeed he made that big play. So, I can't really get on Bland, too harsh, right? Giving up over 200 and something yards in coverage. Yeah, I mean, shoot, we all know that's very bad. We know that Bland, other than the pick and a couple nice little tackles, we know that Bland was very bad today. And he has to clean that up. Got to clean that up. He got baptized today, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. He got baptized today. But nonetheless, though, because there was one route I seen, probably one of the worst I seen was when he got turned around and he was doing the hokey pokey by old Jackson Smith. I said, ooh, you know, like man, you so used to going ahead and trying to get on DK because he trying to go ahead and take you up deep. You ain't prepared for what he get ready to do to you, man. He get ready to turn you around. But let me put this out there too. Hey, yo, look, that new D tackle that we signed, y'all. Man, we might need to sign him. We might need to activate him. I'm sorry. Look, I told you I didn't expect too much from Mozzie Smith this year, but why the hell every time I really go ahead and try to pay attention to 5'8", I'm seeing 5'8" get put on his ass. Ain't no way that my 340 D tackle should be getting put on his ass. I mean, he got pancaked and he getting pancaked by scrubs. Ain't nobody in that interior offensive line. Like, dang, man, them some real boys. The best on that offensive line from Seattle wise was Charles Cross, the left tackle. And I'm tired. Look, I'm tired of seeing him being laid off the ball. I'm tired of him seeing him get put on his ass. He gonna have to step up. Look, we getting to the point where, yo, even though we ain't expect you to go ahead and reach your ceiling, we expect for you to improve. And just because he got a couple pressures on the Giants with them bum ass offensive linemen, that don't mean that it's like y'all play high school ball and you got the one team that you just blow out like they just forever suck year after year, like they just forever suck, and y'all just have like one of the best games of your career by going against them bums. That's like what Mozzie's been doing. That like Mozzie was going against JV offensive linemen and doing that. Let me see you do that next week against Dickerson, and then we can talk. Then we can talk. Let me see you do that against Kelsey, and then we can talk. You know, and that's becoming a little bit of a problem now. The D tackles playing good as a unit. They play good today, right? Especially Osa and Big Hank. I'm looking at Big Hank. Big Hank fighting through, going down the line, getting all blocks. Big Hank. I know Big Hank don't get a lot of recognition because of what position he plays and what he does, and he's not flashy. But Big Hank plays some good ball today. Big Hank plays big. When I looked at him, them D tackles, them two was playing ball. It's just my only concern is, yo, that after them, we gotta hope that them boys stay healthy. Because man, if Mozzie had to go ahead and play an extended role, man, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And when it came down to the run defense, right? Although they got a couple little chunk runs, though, it wasn't it wasn't real bad. Let's just say that it was very doable. It was doable, right? It was doable. Yeah, they did some things. I mean, because they're gonna run regardless. They're gonna Teams is gonna go ahead and get some chunk runs on us regardless, just the way that we built. But for the most part, I could say, it's tolerable. If we get that type of, it's tolerable. It's tolerable. It's very tolerable. But Curse a liability in that coverage. Curse a liability. Curse, it's like where we win with Curse, right? Curse is like he can get exposed in the run game and he getting exposed in the pass game. What we gonna get from that Curse? We say this time and time again. We need some Wanye. We need Wanye. Wanye need more coverage snaps. Wanye gonna stick too. He gonna get in there and put his helmet in there and he gonna stick. He gonna stick. Marquise Bell, he did some good things. He did some good things. He did some good things. Damone Clark, he could have from what I've seen. Now I'm anxious to look at the replay, look at the film again, but Damone Clark, kind of did what Damone Clark been doing this whole year, right? It didn't look like the Commanders game, but from the naked eye, even though he kind of missed a couple plays that he probably should have made,
It wasn't too bad. I mean, if I had to give you the linebacker performance just off without watching the replay again, I could tell you it was tolerable. I could tell you it was tolerable. Just like the run defense was tolerable. Uh, but just sh- but but overall, just shout out to no matter the adversity that we faced, we pulled this out because this was a must-win game. This was a must-win game. This was a must-win game, and the Dallas Cowboys got that win. Even though the Seahawks they record doesn't reflect it, especially because of the offense holds them back. Um, it wasn't a bum opponent that people may think that they are. Right now, we did talk about if the Dallas Cowboys do their thing, we should handle business and whoop on them. You see, we gave it a game because we didn't handle business, so we didn't get the whoop on them, but we won, and that's all that matters, y'all. At the end of the day, it's all about wins or losses. And some of the things um, can be cleaned up with scheme, but that's if your defensive coordinator gonna do that. Some things is gonna go ahead and go with will, but that's on the players. But one thing we can count on, y'all, is that offense. That's one thing we can count on. This offense been on fire. This offense has been on fire. 41, they said, oh man, this team, that 40. No, put up another 40 piece. Put up another 40 piece and make plays when it counts. Because you know what I say, and you know what I'm gonna keep saying, is that big players make big plays in big games. And Dak Prescott, all game, made the plays that any quarterback at any team that would like to win a Super Bowl and that's destined to win a Super Bowl needs their quarterback to make. Dak Prescott made them plays. So I got to give a shout out to Dak Prescott, right? As much as on how hard we is, or at least hard that I am on Dak Prescott, I got to show him love when love is due. And I'm sure Dak Prescott listens to stuff like this. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. So Dak Prescott, if you catch this on the replay on the car home because you wondering what two times got to say, I just want to tell you, Dak Prescott, you played a hell of a game. I just wanted to tell you played a hell of a game. Look, they're gonna talk about that play where you try to they say that you forced the ball to CD in the red zone and it could have went back. Look, Dak Prescott, I can live with that. You trust in your guys. You trust in Ferguson. You trust in Cook. You trust in CD. I can live with that, Dak. Anything that come with that, I accept all of that. God damn it, shit. If you doing that, don't blame Dak. Blame me because I want Dak to do that. Because when Dak is doing that and Dak in his bag and he comfortable and he trusting these wide receivers though, y'all. He trusting them. You see what happens when you trust them to make plays and they gonna make the play because you got the talent. You got the talent to go ahead and put up points on anybody. It's just a matter of getting your defense online and trying to stop. Like I said, if the defense can bend but don't break and make plays when needed to, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. It just is what it is. I accept it. I accept we ain't got no top five defense. Just make plays when we need to make plays. And we can go about it like that. But all right, y'all, man. I'm up out of here. I'm getting ready to go look at this replay. And we're gonna see what we gonna look at some things that we wasn't able to look at during the regular stream. But we're gonna do this. But all right, y'all, till next time. We gone.